Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.
Boom, we're live, baby, live. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, NCAA Net Profit. It's Wednesday, February 9th, Max. Wednesday for me, trash day. Let's get down dirty. Let's find some real winners today, as I like to do on Wednesdays. But before we get into today, I want to touch on all this line movement. We got a good slate here Wednesday. I want you to get to it. Let me run through last night, mine real quick. Arkansas came through at home with a big win. Ohio, stink. Can't beat Toledo, I guess. Bums. Losers there. Portland, wow. Covered, came a huge second half and won the game. Huge win for them. If you played the under, that stayed under. So that was good. I had to give with Miles out, I got so scared. That was written down yesterday for a play for me. They barely covered against Oklahoma State. But I got to give a shout out because I know Charles O'Bannon, Ed O'Bannon from the 95 UCLA Bruins. His son, Chuck O'Bannon, had a huge game. So I think he had 19 last night for TCU. So shout out to Chuck Jr.
I got my own shout out that I wanted to address on the show. Now, okay. I don't give a shit if you chirp me or any of that kind of bullshit. When I make a bad bet, I deserve to be chirped. But my problem is with the Indiana State Sycamores. You pathetic bunch of young basketball players. How many fucking cock soup fucking bowls did you slurp before you played that game? To let Shamar Givens, my fellow Canadian, destroy you, open you up like a fucking Lady of the Night's legs to fucking invite you into her promised land is pathetic. I am disgusted. I actually doubled down and took Indiana State -2.5 live when they were down 10, thinking, oh, it's going to be a tale of two halves. It was a brutal call by me, a terrible cap. If I had a dominatrix Lady of the Night I could go to, I would go and take some whips, but I don't. So I came today with a bowl of diabetes, chocolate bars, candy corn for Valentine's Day, and straight sugar cookies. Okay, I will eat them. I will get fatter. I will get closer to death, and I deserve it. Connor, let's move on to the line movement.
Real fast, right before I shoot it back to you. Hey, that might have been too many, but that Evansville team is horrible. So that just made how pathetic the Indiana State, which not a very good team either, and maybe it shouldn't have been 9.5, but for them not to beat them at home is pathetic effort. So I agree with you. That was a horrible effort by their part at home. Horrible. Absolutely. Some of these teams, I just gotta, I'm like, there's no way I could even bet them. They're just pieces of shit in my mind. Before I get to the chat, Mac, let's run your line movement. We'll let some more people bounce in. We'll get through the best chat, as I say in the goddamn game. We'll run through it. But first, hit that line movement from last night tonight, side total.
Absolutely. So I will say this before I get into it. We do have a basketball game going on, Cornell versus Columbia. If you did watch the show with Jimmy this morning, you are on that Columbia first half team total over if you're tailing me and the under if you're fading me. It's a 16-5 start for Cornell. And let's be brutally honest, when the announcing of Ike Nakui and Liam Murphy, were announced out, you're taking away probably the two best players on this team. So I hope that it is a brutal slaying for Columbia. And getting into the line movement, before we shout out probably the greatest chat that I've ever been a part of, let's talk about some Florida and Georgia. We've seen this line open at 146 and go as low as 143. we can go then to the ACC, where Malik Williams will be back in the lineup for Louisville, and that line has gone from 8.5 to 7, with Nate Laszewski being questionable, and that is a starter's production that you would be missing out. Definitely looking at the George Washington UMass total that opened at 152.5 and surprisingly is down to as low as 150. So that is definitely a perplexing total with UMass involved and TJ Weeks back in the lineup for UMass. Now, we do have to look at another game in the A10, and that's St. Joe's and Davidson. We have seen a slight move towards Davidson with an opener of 10.5, and now they're as high as a 12.5 point favorite. The big game in the conference has to be Richmond and George Mason. Josh Oduro is playing tonight, and we've seen this line U-shape. We saw Richmond at a 1.5 favorite at early points in the afternoon. Now, George Mason is as high as a 3-point home favorite in a short turnaround revenge spot. Going to another game in another conference, I do have to go to the SoCon, and I do have to talk about Western Carolina and Chattanooga. That total surprisingly went from 142.5 up as high as 145, and definitely a spot where Chattanooga may be able to flex their offensive muscle. So look out for that spot. When I do go down the board, I have to stop at Cincinnati and South Florida, where we've very surprisingly seen a move towards the over from 122 to 125. And now we are seeing some buyback on that with 124.5 popping up on the board. When we do look at another game that should be an under by my numbers, at least, we have to look at Detroit and Robert Morris, which is getting some buyback up from 140.5 right now. Going down the board, there are some slight moves. Absolutely. I'm looking for those big moves, and I stop at a game that I want absolutely nothing to do with from a side or total perspective, and that's Wright State. They are now an 8-point favorite, where this morning they were a 6 or 5.5 point opener, and the total has gone from 141.5 down as low as 137.5. Very interesting line movement. Want nothing to do with it from a betting perspective. Then I get to look down the board and get into some of the later slate on the main board. And I think that the biggest move that I want to talk about would have to be this Loyola Chicago game. We don't know the status of Terry Roberts. We're not going to know the status until warmups. And Loyola Chicago has remained a 4.5 point favorite when they opened at 3 or 2.5. I think that's a very suspect move, and we're going to see some steam once starting lineups are announced. When we do go look at a game in the Big East, I have to look at Georgetown and DePaul. We've gone from a 146.5 total to as low as 142, and that is just crazy. That must mean Javon Freeman Liberty is not going to be in the lineup. So, and aside from that, I think that the only other move that I want to bring up would be the two West Coast games on the main board. We've seen the Cal-Oregon total go from 135.5 to as low as 133, and that point or two is going to make a difference in this game, I think. And then we have to go to the land of freaking sunny days, the sunniest place on North America, the San Diego State, San Jose State game. Opener of 13.5 and as high as 17 points. Eventually, it's going to get too high. Has it gotten there yet? I want to know what Connor Mack thinks.
Well, I don't. God damn, Max. I just, after being on San Jose early, I don't know. I think I'd want 20. To tell you the truth, to feel good. Maybe, it's already moved 3 like you talked about. And this total's moved as well. 122 opener, that's mostly 125 in most places. So that's moved on the total as well. Great breakdown, Max. Anything else you wanted to touch on real quick before we get into the chat in your games?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some moves in the added board, but I think that a lot of people probably just want to hear our breakdowns and then get to questions and rapid fire. So I will skip that.
Excellent work as always. This man is on it. Right when the lines come out from the night before last night, till today because it's a lot of time, a lot of money trading off Max and a lot of eye movement. So his eyes are wide open. He's fucking with them. Okay, shout out to the best goddamn chat in the goddamn game. I've already said that. I'd probably be the last time, but I mean it when I say it. God damn it. Bill McHugh, yeah, shout out, man. I'm glad Arkansas won that last night. Paulie Walnuts, Kyle, what's up, my man? Cab, good to see you. Matty Ice, shout out, Matty Ice. All right, I like it. Matty Ice, shout out to you, my man. Wyoming came through. Great call. I was on it as well. Whew, that was a great game last night. AJN, Sammy Colmo, Rodney Barton, James Calley, Rara Murray, my man Brian. Good to see you, Mike Conley. TCATL, good to see you in here. Rude Jude up in here. Our guy T-Mac, Jay Peasy, Steph Brasco, James Little. We'll get to those games later. Most of these games you guys are kind of mentioning. Cab, he says Wake Forest first half. I know a lot of people are on it. Now they're favorites, going into these road games. So it's not as easy as taking them. But interesting game. We're going to get to that one soon as well. Banana and Grapes, great to see you. G Martinez, all the regulars, Real Deal Prime, a.k.a. The Grinder, always here. The voice of reason with a couple cupcakes for you, Max. Arthur Meade Jr., Lance LaRose, Ninja 13. Shout out to everyone here. CT Bays. Damn, shout out to everyone. If I miss you, I'll try to get back and hit you. But let's get to the games, Max. I could be here all day chatting up the chat. Oh, by the way, chat, all I asked for is a thumbs up. This man asked for a little bit more, but just give us that thumbs up, baby, for the like. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, no, listen, guys, you know that I always want more. Today, I'm not going to ask much of you. I think that I'm just going to focus on finding a winner for you, giving you good information, and helping you serve your bookie the coldest, iciest, most pitifully disgusting cock soup imaginable.
Beautiful. Well said. Let's get to work then. Let's get to it, Max. Your first one here. MD Eastern Shore, Maryland Eastern Shore here versus Delaware State. Good old Delaware State's playing. They're 7-point dogs here. Eastern Shore 7. There's a 7.5 out there, but it's 7 everywhere. This total's 130. What do you like in this one, Max?
I'm excited to watch this game. I do not know why. It's probably because it's on YouTube and it's very easily accessible to me. However, I do think that Maryland Eastern Shore has been a fantastic road dog. Not in this number situation have we seen them quite often. And I do think, like I said last time when Delaware State was playing Howard, Delaware State is playing fantastic home basketball. They were unbettable. Now they're a can't miss. And I don't think that they do it with great offense. They do it with good, solid rebounding from the guard and forward position. This is a team that's going to do a really good job of protecting the rim and doing a lot of work on the help defense side. I think that when you have Miles Carter on this team, he is capable of taking over. He's not going to settle for the 3-point shot very often. And when he wants and is determined to get to the rim against this quality of opponent at this level, he can do it quite often. I think that we definitely need to see other guys step up for this Delaware State team. Martez Robinson was the guy that did it last time. However, what is Delaware State's best weapon is their defense. They can come in and they can keep Maryland Eastern Shore off the 3-point line and force them to earn their freaking points at the free throw line where they are a bit less consistent. I do think that they find a way to stay in this game. I think that if you look at the first half numbers, if Maryland Eastern Shore is going to find a way to cover this number, they are going to be leading by 5 to 7 points at halftime. So it is a game. It is 2 games within one, a tale of 2 halves that I'm expecting. And with the number being at 130, it is right on the threshold. So it's not going to be a play that I'm going to be very emphatic about taking an under or an over. And if Noli Knows is listening, I'm taking the over.
Okay, lean to this over 130 here.
Yeah, because if that number was at 135 or more, that would be more in line with my numbers for Delaware State unders. And, of course, with the potential of a rock fight with these two teams, it's too hard to freaking ignore.
Excellent, excellent. Few other people coming in. CT Bays, Doctor 24. What's up? Trenton Claxton, been here. Melvin, our guy John Harmon, Polly Walnuts, the real DJ up here. King Art, great to see you. Jeffrey, Scott Lewis, Trans Canada, my man. Elliot V, hell yeah. Chad Stevens. Fuck yeah, this chat's popping. Let's get it going. Res Mob, UNLV 94, Tony Hill, Ninja 13, NBA Talk with J Money. What's up, my man? Jake Burns. All right, Max, let's get to your second one here. Let's get rolling. UMass Lowell, Stony Brook. This is 4. We're seeing 3.5s now, Max. Just, the last hour or so. I saw a lot of 4s early. Now we see some 3.5s. This total's 139.5. What do you like here?
Conor, when I look at this game, it's definitely a spot where you have to look at the situation. Stony Brook is a team that feels like they quit. We've seen them play the last 3 games since the news came out. They've lost all 3. They haven't covered as a favorite. They should have been able to win at least 2 out of 3 of those games and win them comfortably. From a talent perspective, they can beat you with their guard depth. They have a ton of guys that can break you off the dribble, and they got bullying, rebounding guards like Takai Green. I think that from a statistical perspective, they should be the play here, but I can't take them. I have to take UMass Lowell in this situation. I got to take the 4 points, and I got to just anticipate that this Stony Brook team is just checked out. They're playing the games, but it doesn't really matter because there's nothing to play for. So I'm just riding the wave with this Stony Brook fade and hoping that it rides for one more game.
Yeah, if I don't have a play on this game, Max, but that'd be the only way. There's just no way at this point with a -1, 2, 3, 4 that I would back Stony Brook. It'd just be dog or pass in this, with UMass Lowell here. It's just stay away until I see any, like you said, they've just been horrible as of late. All right, let's get to your next one here. Northern Kentucky, 2.5-point favorites here versus UW Milwaukee. This total's 137.5. Do you trust Northern Kentucky after a good win, then a bad loss the other day to bounce back and cover here on the road?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. It's like freaking a fat kid in a cupcake store. He's going to eat one before he leaves the goddamn place. Northern Kentucky is going to take care of business, situational rebound, great advantage from the 3-point line. If Milwaukee wants to zone up on them, it's not going to work. I think that this Northern Kentucky team schematically just works very well against Milwaukee, regardless of Patrick Baldwin being in the lineup or not. I think that there definitely has to be an emphasis on defense for Northern Kentucky, but when you look at how many weapons there are in this backcourt, and then Marquise Warwick and his ability to score off the wing and inside, it's too hard to resist, and I'm biting right into the cake before it gets served to everybody else.
Okay, let's see. I definitely would want more points here with Milwaukee. I would need a few more. I've liked Northern Kentucky in certain spots. I think this is a decent one, but just not a team I love laying points on with the road. I know it's a short number, but kind of a tricky, little dangerous one. Res Mob wants to know that game has started, but Max, can you tell him about Cornell? He took it minus the points. Is there anything live right now that you would look into? Just real quick.
I think that if you're going to get on something live right now with Cornell, you get on the team total over. Let's have a look at Bet365 and see what they got, because those guys are beatable like my dick. All right. And I'll tell you, at 93.5 and 8 minutes left and 33 points already scored, 7 3-point makes. I don't think that Cornell is going to take it easy, especially since Columbia has went on a little run the last couple minutes and gotten themselves in the bonus. Cornell, if I were to lean to anything right now, whether it be side total, spread, first half or nothing, it'd be Cornell over that 93.5. It looks big. It is big, but this Cornell team can do it.
All right. Great breakdown by a live Man, that's great at what he does. Live betting. Great breakdown there. Max for our guy, Res Mob. All right, let's get to your next one here. Max, I thought this game was pretty interesting. I stayed off it here. Valpo, Illinois State. They're laying 4 here. This total's 142.5. Tell me what you like here.
Yeah, I think that was Illinois State at home. They're one of the rare teams that if you get a total under 145, they could route somebody and the game can still go over. This Illinois State team is a fantastic three-point shooting team. The question is, are they going to have their full freaking plethora of ball dominant guards? Howard Fleming and Cy Chapman are both questionable for this game. I'm anticipating that they play, but if they don't, it just gives more opportunity to Antonio Reeves and to freaking Josiah Strong, to be able to score the basketball. We know that Antonio Reeves is a beast. I think it's more about what you get in the front court. They have a Canadian, a fellow Canadian of mine, Conor, Liam McChesney, a former Utah State player that's really found a nice spot in the starting lineup that's able to play big minutes, give you some rim protection, stay on the floor without fouling, and give you some double-double production. I think that he's the key tonight. I think that if he has a big game, Illinois State will cover this game. Valpo is definitely walking wounded right now, but when you have as many quality D1 transfers in that lineup as Coach Matt Loddick does, they're never out of it, and they're always a dangerous dog in this point range. However, I lean towards Illinois State, but I like the over 143.5 more.
Yeah, the over here.
Yes, sir.
I just can't. I mean, Valpo's played a bit better. Then they have these kind of shit down games. They're just the inconsistency for me to back a team. I needed more here than just 4. So yeah, and I don't love the favorite here in Illinois State. So yeah, that was a stay off for me. But you're right, maybe right or on to something. There could be points in this game. All right, let's get to your
free throws, Connor. Free throws
at the end. Yeah, lots of free throws. Add on 8 to 10 points could get this game over in this one. Alrighty, let's get to your last one here, Max. Yale versus Harvard. Classic game here. Harvard's laying 1. This total's 140.5. What do we like here?
Yeah, listen, I like Harvard in this spot. I think that with Harvard, the possibility or not of getting Chris Ledlum back is definitely key in my heart. However, this is just a revenge situation for me. A team that really does a good job of making it difficult to get the ball from side to side, to get the ball inside and out. They'll bring doubles on you. They're really going to freaking get into the passing lanes like a cornerback does. And I just think that at the end of the day, you had a terrible first half and you just really weren't able to make up for it. When you score 14 points in the first half, it leaves a dirty taste in your mouth. And we know from watching this Ivy League basketball, revenge is a big thing with these privileged sons of bitches. And I think that Harvard is going to be the privileged son of a bitch that gets the goddamn chocha today. So I think that Harvard can be a spot that if you're up money, you should be looking at them to win this game by 4 to 5 points instead of the 1.5 or 2 point spread that you can get at -110 right now.
Excellent breakdown, Max. I like it. Let's get to mine here. But first, let's give a shout out to the chat. If you just got in, give us a thumbs up. We're only at 65. We need 35 more to get to the hundo here for us. Shout out to everybody in here. Jake Kaiser, my guy. Nice. Great to see you in here. I know you can't always make it live. Matty Ice says he's off this game. Yeah, I'm off. I'd take Harvard if I had to. Yale's been nothing but I don't want Yale. Let's just put it that way. I didn't see a ton of advantage in that game, though. Alrighty, let's get to mine here, Max, and we'll get to the rest of the games and get rolling to the chat. All right, my first one. It's pretty simple, Max. Ohio State at Rutgers. Ohio State, it was 3.5. There's 3s mostly everywhere. There's even some 2.5s now, but there's 3s most places. Total 135. You know where I'm going here. We're at the rack. We're at home. It's Rutgers. It's just Rutgers. They've had one bad game, that Maryland game, 68-60. You know what? If it happened again, and I didn't bet that one, so I feel like I got to dodge the bullet there in that one, but they're catching points at home. Ohio State team that's just not that great on the road. This is just a basketball team. We talked about Arkansas when we wanted to back them last night. They played better this year on the road, but some of these typical teams just haven't played great basketball on the road. They're going to, of course, rely on Lydell. I think they get enough done here. Ron Harper Jr. They just play. They're just, that romp of Michigan State. They just kicked their ass, by 20, 24, whatever it was, the final score. Give me the 3 here with them. You could even go money line if you want. I think they get the outright win, but take the 3 if you want to. So what do you like here in this game, Max? Ohio State, Rutgers.
Yeah, Connor, I agree with you on this spot. I was talking about this before. I made it a money line bet on this game, and although I couldn't remember what Paul Mulcahy's first name was, I do think that the headband will be a difference maker tonight. He definitely frustrates you when you watch him. I sort of want to jump through the screen and punch him in the nuts, but I'd also need a step ladder and a boost to get up there. So I think that at the end of the day, this is a Rutgers team that gets up for these types of games. Like, this is what those crazy SOBs in Jersey live for.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a Rutgers spot, or you just don't bet the side. I think that you are very contrarian if you're betting Ohio State, and I tip my hat at you for being able to click that button.
I totally agree. I just, there's always a chance. Ohio State, obviously a talented basketball team, yada, yada. But yeah, I tip my hat too. To me, I just got to take the points with them in this one. Alrighty, let's get to my next one. This is an interesting game, Max. A team that's won a few, but a team I do not trust. Tulane versus Memphis. Total's 147. I'm off the total here. It's a little high, so I have nothing on that. I got to have the 10 with Tulane. There's some 9.5s that have already popped up, too, in the last hour or so. I got to take with the points with Tulane. This team is last 5. It's 5-0 against the spread. Its last 8, it's 7-1. It's hanging in basketball games. It's won 3 of its last 4. And, they haven't had too bad of a route all year. There's been a few spots early on in the year that they did. This Memphis team's coming off 2 wins. They did just beat Central Florida pretty good, 88-60. Are they back? I don't believe it. I want to, I got to see more. I don't trust Penny Hardaway. He has all this talent. Maybe they go on a run. We got a 10-10 team versus a 12-8 team, and they're 10-point favorites here. Maybe they should be favorite, but this is 3-4 too many in my book. Give me the plus 10 with Tulane. And obviously, they've only been playing with no Bates. He's not huge, but 10 points. He's been out 2 games. I know they won them, but that might catch up with them a little bit. Who knows? I just wanted to throw that out there. But give me Tulane the plus 10 here. What do you like?
Yeah, listen, I think that if Tulane is going to be able to be competitive in this game, their team total over seems like the right play. Jalen Cook, once he gets going, he's good for 5 or 7 3-point makes in an outlier type game. If he has one of those games against what would probably be the healthiest Memphis has been all year, then they're going to earn that victory. But I just seen this Tulane team break down in overtime. It's cost me money. It's taken minutes off my life, and I will never get those back. But if I were to back a side, I would roll with you, Connor, because I like how you think.
I mentioned there's just points. When I saw 10, it's just a bet I have to make here. I got to trust my stuff. Memphis did this last year, Max. They were in that bad run. It might have been a little later in the year with that horrible ATS streak and losing. Both, not covering and losing. And they won 2 in a row, covered. Maybe they get going. But I'm going to dare them to here with 10. So I'm going to take the 10 with Tulane. Alrighty, let's get to my last one here. Georgia Tech versus Miami. Miami's favored by 9 here. This total's 142, and that's where I'm going to in this game. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Razor Sharp Picks. This is a collab play with my guy. We message back and forth sometimes, and we never are on the same page a lot of the time. So when we do, we're on this play. So it's out on Twitter. We are on the under here, 142. Georgia Tech plays good defense. Miami, and ever since they've gotten conference, Max, they just seem to play till the under as well. I don't trust Georgia Tech's offense to score here. I don't think they want to run and gun, especially on the road. And like I said, I think their defense has been solid at times. And Miami, who was scoring a ton of points and playing over early on, maybe pre-conference and maybe early in conference, just hasn't done it. This total's too high. All the money's on the over. Line hasn't moved. So I'm on the under here, 142. What do you like here?
You want to give me a Georgia Tech game on the road where they're potentially, possibly, maybe, hopefully getting blown out? Oh, yeah. Under City. Noli knows is looking down on us, Conor, right now. And he's like, I raise good Jedis. I raise good Jedis. Even though it's definitely, we're not giving him credit because he calls me an overbetter all the time.
I know.
I like unders too, Conor. I like unders too.
Hey, I love a good under. Yeah,
Yeah,
he calls me an Angel fan.
I'll just call him a gypsy. How about that?
That's a good one. I like it. Shout out to our guy Razor. We've been pretty good in our collabs. Our last one was an NFL play, and it was against his Packers, who are, where are they? Nowhere to be found. It was against the Bengals in Cincy in that crazy game. Missed field goal, missed field goal, missed field goals. We pushed with the 3 there. Packers won by 3, but Bengals are a lot happy now. They're going to be playing on Sunday for it all. So I had to give a little shout out. That was our last play, was a push in that game. But all right, that is it. Shout out to the chat. Get your questions on the rest of the game. I'm going to run through some of the top ones that we're going to start. The Florida-Georgia game, a few of those, but the rest of the games, give them to me in the chat. We'll get through them. But first, let's get a word from our sponsors. If you're in the San Antonio area, go to Southtown 101. I will be there in about, 5-6 weeks. Get in there, get drunk, eat a burger, have some wings, go sing some karaoke, have a good time. And go to mybookie.ag at promo code PubSports. You probably heard me say it a million times. Use the Bitcoin, transfer it. They match you with 1,000. Last, Manscaped. Got to keep clean, trimmed. Get the Lawnmower 4.0, but don't stop there. Get their full kit and caboodle. It's cheap. And last, our Pub Rub. Get your meat seasoned, chicken, ribs, brisket at pubsportsradio.com. While you're there, cop a t-shirt. While you're there, support us here at Pub Sports Radio. We appreciate it. Keeps us rolling. The donos as well. All that good shit keeps us coming on every day and being here. I love it. So, all right, Max, let's get to some of these games. We're going to pump these few ones out first, and then we're going to get all the rest of them in the chat. Let's get to this one. It's going to start here in about, 40 minutes or so. 3:30 my time, 6:30. Georgia versus Florida. Florida's laying a massive number here at home, 14.5. This total's come down a little bit to 143.5. What do you like here? Do you trust Florida? You want to lay these points with them?
Absolutely not. You know how I am about Mike White. I think that Georgia, while they're in a situational letdown after playing their hearts out against Auburn, I do think that this Florida team always has the potential to miss open jump shots. And while Colin Castleton's back in the lineup, and that does a lot of good for this offense and for this defense, I still think that this is a game that is a couple points too many and still a game that looks like it's going to be a rock fight at the end of it.
Yep. And I like the under a little bit in this one, but it's come down 2 points. And I'm with you, Max. SEC, I know Georgia they could lose by 20 here, but I think this is too many, like you mentioned. I think this is one, like this could have been 11.5. So I got to give that lean to Georgia here with these points. I just don't trust Florida at all. At all. All right, let's get to the next one. George Washington, UMass. This line's 8. This total 151 high total here. Can you lay this number with them? You trust it?
I think that you can now that TJ Weeks is back in the lineup, but will I? No. I think that it's dog or pass for me. And I think that when I look at it, George Washington, if they're going to be competitive in this game, their best bet is to get this game slow tempo, to really force UMass to work hard for their shot into the shot clock and keep it as low scoring as possible. If they get into a back and forth game, I just don't think they have enough horses to sustain and win the race.
Yeah. I had George Washington on the week. I don't love him as much on the road. If UMass gets hot shooting, but still, that's just too many at 8 points. So to me, if I had to, I'd choose the dog or just stay far away. And this total is high. I think there's a lot of points here, but will it get over? I don't know. I'm not so sure here. All right, UNC Asheville versus Hampton, 10.5 here, total 137. What do you like here?
Yeah, I like the talent that UNC Asheville has. I can name guys like Drew Pember, Tyjon Jones, LJ Thorpe, Trent Stephanie. They have a ton of different guys that can stand out on any given night. When you have a versatile 6'11" big man who scores non-traditionally, it is a dangerous team to mess with, especially at home. However, Hampton seems to be playing their best basketball of the year, and if they can get into the high 60s, maybe the low 70s, I think that they finish this game and they finish within the number. So it's a dog or pass for me on this spot, and looking for the Hampton Pirates to get Dejor Dickens in those ailing feet into the lineup, defending the rim and presenting a nice challenge to Drew Pember.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, Ant, Prince of the City said, "Stop, you ain't going nowhere." Yeah, I am. I'll be there. Are you going to be there? J Money, yeah, Max can't come. He's got Canadian restrictions. We've gone over here before. The U.S.
I can
not
go
allowed.
to different countries. I just can't go to your country, which is absolutely crazy considering how easy it is to get into your country from the southern border. But yes.
Yes, that's true. Even though I hear Canadian custom is pretty rough, like when you go in from the U.S. Yeah.
They're on a freaking power surge. They want to freaking look inside your butthole, They want to freaking bend you over and be like, "Yo, we got to make sure we got all that shit," So I ain't trying to freaking spread them for nobody.
I feel you. All right, let's get to the next one. 2 more here. Houston, SMU. Houston's laying 7. They just demolished Cincinnati. I watched the second half of that game. It's pretty boring. They were just kicking their ass on Sunday night. There was nothing on TV. Max, there's nothing going on. Total 134.5. Can Houston go and cover here on the road?
Well, it was beautiful because I was able to chase some freaking pretty heavy losses on that first half total. So God bless you, Houston. Play that physical basketball. I absolutely am on Houston first half. I do think that this game is going to be higher scoring, at least in the first 20 minutes. And from a Houston perspective, they don't really need to shoot the basketball at a high percentage because of how many offensive rebounds and possessions that they extend with their defense. I think at the end of the day, this is a Houston team that can definitely get 35 points in this first half. I think that they can win it by 5 points or more. And I think that we're going to see in the range of 67, 70 points, maybe even closer to 73. So SMU is talented. They're at their best when they're at Moody Arena. They have a quartet of talented guards and physical front court players. Let's see them go and match bucket for bucket with Houston.
Houston played.
There he is. Noli knows. Max loves overs. You know what? Settle down, Noli. Settle down. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just talking about unders that I liked.
I know. Yeah, you settle down too. Ant, where are you coming to Vegas? As soon as you're here, I'm here, bro. Shit. Cab likes the first half. He likes the first half.
Yeah.
Houston has these weird spots. They just demolish teams, Max, or they're like every once in a while they go on the road and there's a tight one. So that's why. I mean, they've looked good the last few games, but it's one I got to stay off. Let's get to this last one before we'll get to everybody's in the chat.
You just can't freaking deal with taking a favorite. That's just what it is, really. Come on.
I don't want to take this favorite on the road. No. If you do it, take a first half. That's what I take. And I've had, the problems I've had with Houston. I don't mind. Like, I'd go with Loyola Chicago today if I'm going to take it, but that's a dangerous spot. So there you go. Take that favorite. Take this one. Wake Forest -3 at NC State, total 153.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's definitely a spot where NC State has some value as a team total over, and Wake Forest early is going to have to show us that they are not going to fall into this road favorite conference trap. The number definitely is saying NC State, but I'm on Wake Forest. I'm riding this Alondas Williams train. He's a prize pick goddamn legend with his points, rebounds, and assists for anybody that's on that. And on your Monkey Night pick lineups, you should have this guy in there. So Alondas Williams is going to make or break this game. I do think that Davion Williams does provide some additional backcourt scoring. And if Wake Forest is able to score early and often versus NC State team, it's going to be on NC State to be able to keep up. And if they can't, they're going to be slurping something icy, cold, and not pleasant.
Yeah, this is another game where early on in the year I backed NC State in certain spots. They've not played basketball well. Everyone seems to like Wake, and they have been playing well. It is tricky, but if I had a free play on this one, I'd take Wake as well. I would lay it with them on the road in this spot. All right, shout out to the chat. Keep them rolling. I've already got some written down here. Hopefully we can get to most of these. If not, we'll rapid fire a few at the end. Some ones we didn't touch. Minnesota versus Nebraska, Max. Minnesota's favored by 1.5. This total is 143.5. Do you have anything in this game?
No, I don't. I do not have anything in this game.
Yep, I don't either. There's just no way Minnesota. I'm going to lay 1.5 away from the barn there, and Nebraska has just been a nightmare. They've played better a little bit lately, so I lean them. Maybe there's points, but I don't want to take it over 143 in the spot. All right, the rematch, Max, here. Richmond, George Mason. You talked about it's moved now to 2.5, right around there. This total's right around 137, unless that moved to. What do you got here?
Yeah, listen, I just can't really do anything with this game except try and take a first half over and then go from there. I haven't bet this game. I don't know if I'm going to actually get to the window on the side. And that's the only way I can really see myself getting in, because I missed the best of the line on the George Mason side. And with Oduro back in the lineup, that's 17.6 points per game and your best front court scorer. So I'm just not going to play with fire here, and I'm just going to freaking just lay off of it.
Okay. Yeah, so this was the game the other day that, stayed under. Maybe we see points here tonight, so I lean over. We see in these games, usually there's an over and an under in these back-to-back type games, so we'll see if they could get it done tonight. Do you have anything in this one, Max? Jacksonville at Eastern Kentucky. Laying 4 here. What do you got?
Yeah, I think that this is a spot where it's such a contrast of under versus an over team. Jacksonville is completely Jekyll and Hyde for the positive when they're at home versus on the road. I don't see how Jacksonville can win this game without Kevion Nolan having a big game. And when you look at a guy that has definitely taken a back seat to other players on this roster, Brandon Workman is a guy that can really put some work in on the low block in the 8 to 10 foot range. And I think that if they get him a lot of touches and they're able to avoid turnovers, which they've shown an ability to, Jacksonville definitely should be the winner at halftime, but I won't go any further than that.
Okay. Sorry, let me jot this down. Okay. Let's get to this one. We've had a lot of this in the chat, Max. Louisville versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame's laying 7 in this spot. What do you like?
Yeah, listen, I think that when we look at Notre Dame after Sharpie almost just made me laugh my ass off just there, I cannot back Notre Dame. I think that this is just a team that if they're hot three-pointing, they're going to reward their backers. If they're not, they're just going to put them through the paces. Malik Williams is going to be tough to handle, and it's going to be interesting to see how much minutes, how much the ball goes through him on the offensive side, and how effective he is at deterring drivers from this Notre Dame team, including, most importantly, Byron Wesley and Dane Goodwin. I think that at the end of the day, this is definitely a spot where I have to look at under, I have to look at the dog, or I have to just let it go.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Cornell just put up 50 in the first half.
There you go. Did you cash that?
I cashed the first half team total over and the first half spread, but I didn't get on the live bet. It's at 95.5 right now.
Let's get to this one. Southern Illinois versus Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa got it done for me Saturday in OT versus Drake. They're laying just 6.5 here. Thought it was a little light, but I think it's about right on. What do you think here? Can they cover this number, Max?
Southern Illinois at this number has done a really good job, but it's been mostly when they've been a home dog. I was leaning towards Southern Illinois, but now that I know that the taint's on Northern Iowa, it's really a situation where I'm going to have to take some more time and evaluate. And Jay, I would use George Mason money line in a parlay. I don't know if I would just take it straight up with the juice.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I hate Southern Illinois. We've already had many discussions about them.
Well, yeah, Marcus Domas makes some dumbass decisions at the most key times of a game. So I understand that part.
Yeah, sometimes they can struggle to score. Then they have these better shooting nights. They just boggle my mind sometimes. Texas Tech versus Oklahoma. Good game here. They're Texas Tech minus 2.5, total 128.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, this is another conference freaking trappy type game. We have issues with the Texas Tech personnel, which seems to be every game. We never know if Terrence Shannon's going to play or not. I think that they should be able to win this game if they're complete, even if they're not. I can't go against this Oklahoma team at home at this number. If this number was closer to a pick 'em or more like a 5.5 or a 6, I'd be more interested. But when I see this conference number at 3 or 3.5, it just really scares me off. And like T-Mac is saying, college basketball is 3 seasons, and we're getting close to the end of conference season. So let's see how Texas Tech can continue or not continue their momentum that they built. I think that this is a watch and see spot. You live bet who's down at halftime and anticipate a tale of two halves.
Yeah. And someone asked me on this total, I'd lean under, but I needed this to be in the 130s for a play for me. 132 right in that number. I thought the line was pretty sharp here at 128.5.
It's crazy when we look at these games, Connor, and we see on your stat page, you're going to see so many statistical advantage for Texas Tech. But how many times do we see those not work out and play out?
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes me nervous about this spot. And with so many other games, why are we getting gung-ho about a spot that may just be a better spot to bet live or at the half?
Yeah, because it's just a difficult game. The short road favorite on the road in conference, not easy place to play, and not just a normal shitty basketball team in Oklahoma. I mean, they're pretty good, so I agree there. Shout out to the chat, Sam Comer, Brandon Graves, Sharpie, my guy, good to see you in here. Nasty Nate, Jeffrey, shout out to everyone. Hit the like button. Are we at 100 yet? Nope. 3 away. If you haven't hit the like, hit the like. All right, Max. Oakland, minus 3.5 versus Youngstown. Total 142.5. You like the Grizz here?
Yeah, I have to. They have played such bad basketball. How can we not give them one more shot? This is a team that, first off, Youngstown's going to have to shoot over that zone. Then we have a great matchup of a Canadian point guard, a fellow Canadian of mine, Conor Shamar Raton Mays versus Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore's facilitation is very consistent. Is his offense and his efficiency going to be just as consistent? I am anticipating and projecting. So I think that Oakland has a perfect opportunity to play a lower tier team in the horizon on the road and get us a win. Jamal Cain will have a big game. If he puts up a monster, give me 30. Give me 35. I don't give a fuck. Just give me a goddamn Oakland win. 4-point or more cover.
Cool. Let's see if they can get it done here at Youngstown. Let's rip through a few more, Max. Then we'll go rapid fire and get out of here. Loyola Chicago, -4.5 at Bradley. Total 131 here. What do you like? And can this total get over, under? What do you like?
For me, it's really, I'm waiting on personnel announcements. If Terry Roberts isn't in the game, I'm going to be quick to the freaking click button for Loyola Chicago. If he is, then I'm going to be telling Sharpie, go get that motherfucker in your prize pick lineup, you little BBW slayer.
Okay. All right. Let's get to this one. Baylor at K-State. Someone mentioned first half is 4. I'm sure 3.5. Maybe you can find a 3.5. Full game 7. Total 136. What do you like here?
Yeah, I'm rolling with Daddy Cab on the first half on Baylor. I do think that even though they may not have LJ Cryer back, it's not like he's been in and out of the lineup all season. He hasn't played for 2 weeks, so I don't think that that's a nail in the coffin or anything. I think that Baylor definitely matches up very well with what Kansas State struggles with, and I think that Jeremy Sochan, or whatever the hell his name is, he plays a big role off the bench. We need to see more production from other outlets. Matt Mayer and his mullet are definitely in a good situation to be at an advantage versus what I would say is a sometimes small Kansas State team. You know, sometimes they do play that 4 out, and I think that that's when a guy like Matt Mayer can freaking really back someone down and get isolated and do some scoring. I think that whenever I see a Baylor team total under 75, it's like, I don't know, it's like Dr. Mandy saying, yeah, you could touch my breast, but only for 5 seconds. I'm touching it for 5 seconds every time. So
yeah,
that's how I feel about Baylor team totals under 75. I like the over.
Yeah. Tough one. A Baylor team that's struggling lately that could use a big win. So it's dog or pass for me there. And I like this Baylor team. Missouri State versus Drake. Drake's laying 4 here. Did Drake get a big win here and cover? This total is 142, Max.
I don't understand why this line's moving so much in favor of Drake. I understand the home court edge is definitely factored into it. I just don't see a reason why Missouri State can't have a situational rebound against a schematically weaker offensive team in Drake. Yes, Drake has been able to put up some good points, but can they do that against Donovan and Clay and Gage Prim down low? Can they contain Isaiah Mosley on the other end? How much energy are they going to spend on defense that they're not going to be able to put into their energy, into their jump shots? You know, I have questions about this Drake team. I continue to have questions about laying numbers with them, regardless of what ATS streak they're on. It's Missouri State or pass for me, Connor.
Yeah, it's just me too. I know Drake's won a little bit lately. They did lose to Northern Iowa in that OT game. They played a bit better. No way I want to lay with them. Last one, and we'll go rapid fire, Max. Cincy, South Florida, Cincinnati, 7-point favorites here on this road. This steamed up this line, which I don't agree with, but it's up to 125. What do you like here?
Yeah, the sound master Jedi of unders has instilled in me, don't be scared by a line move. Play your number. This is one of those situations. You cashed one of those the other night, Connor. All right, this is another one of them right here. It's under or nothing when it comes to that total. And if Cincinnati can't put a thumping on this South Florida team and they're going to go on a winning streak, I may have to go take a jump in the cold lake, and I won't be back tomorrow if that's the case.
Yep, ugly basketball. Cincinnati should win. Someone could take Cincy, but yep, I'm agree with you. I don't get, maybe the initial people think get over, you know, when they see 121, they think, oh, it just needs to get to 60. But you got to watch this South Florida basketball team, and even Cincinnati, how bad they can struggle at times. So I'm with you there in that one. Under. All right, that is it. Let's get to rapid fire. Shout out to everyone in the chat. My guy Razor Sharp Picks was here. We went over our play. Shout out to him. I just saw him in the chat. Jennifer, good to see you. Polly Walnuts, Arthur Mead. All right, Big Show. You want a rapid fire and we'll get out of here. Go ahead, Max.
All right. Definitely looking at Vermont team total over. I think that in the matchup of 1 versus 2, should we really have an 18.5 point spread? Does not make sense to me.
Yeah, Vermont wins, but I don't know by 20. This is a pass.
Yeah, this is definitely a Charleston Southern possible underdog spot. The way that they're shooting the 3 and the way that North Carolina A&T has struggled in this range, hard to like A&T on the spread.
Yeah, that's a big number. I lean with the dog, but I lean under here, 142.
Obviously, this is a huge revenge game for Colgate. They've been on an absolute fucking murdering spree since. Would not surprised to see them score a huge amount of points and win this game by 20 plus.
Yeah, you could look at Colgate. I was looking in this game, Max, maybe the team total a little bit, and there should be a lot of points. It's just if they kick their ass, it might not get over a beat this 146.
Well, you got to watch this Colgate team in transition. They catch and shoot 3 giants.
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah.
Losing 85-81 to this Lehigh team is definitely not has not been forgotten. And now to even make matters more in favor of Colgate, Keith Higgins, it looks like the book's out on him and defenses have adjusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do think the team totals are good, Jeff.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead, Max.
Maine and Albany, obviously, I have a real problem with betting on Maine. Tonight is no different. It's dog or pass for me.
Yeah, I'd lean Maine. And obviously these teams struggle to score. That's why this total is so low. I can only look under, even at 123.5.
I'll say this though, Maine hasn't really struggled to score. They just needed the right number to get over. And if you know what I'm getting at.
But Albany can really muck it up that game. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. Slow team.
St. Joe's and Davidson. Davidson first half is definitely going to be on my board tonight. Loving them in this spot. They've covered 3 of their last 4 home favorite spots in this number range. I think that they get another one.
If I were to play this one, I lean the dog in St. Joe's, but I look over.
I'm definitely staying off this game.
Oh, ugly one. I don't want either team to gain pass. Lean under.
Definitely a pass because the only thing I could do is take Xavier because I would literally take a shit on every Seton Hall student's front lawn.
Seton Hall just had a good win, but I don't trust them. Man, I wish I was getting 5.5 or 6 with Xavier. I'd be all over it.
Hey, listen, American, even if they don't have Conor Nelson, if Johnny O'Neal is going to shoot 8 for 10 like he did last time out, they could be a live little dog, even though both these teams really suck a hollow egg.
Yeah, tough one here. I can't even take American. Just pass.
This is definitely under or nothing for me.
Pass.
Army and the under.
Yeah, I gotta go Army here too, Max, if I were to bet this one.
I definitely like the under in this game. And Robert Morris is a live home dog.
You know what? I looked at this a lot, Max. Maybe this total is too high. Robert Morris has played to the under a bunch lately. Because initially when I see this, I thought over. But it's a stay off for me.
I'm definitely looking towards something involving Chattanooga, whether it be a team total or a first half spread. I'm just not sure yet.
Chattanooga wins, but I'm not laying the points with them.
Yeah, I think that Presbyterian thrives on playing low-tempo games at home. If they can play a low-tempo one, they could beat High Point. But if High Point's going to get 60-plus points from Austin House and John Michael Wright, then there's going to be a dog barking.
I wish I had. Yeah, I wish it was a few more, Max. It's close. 130, this was a dead under. for me. It's very close here at 128. Under is the only play.
Yeah, this is another under. Campbell's definitely played a lot of overs in this number range. I think that Gardner Webb and some of their shooting flaws can come into play here tonight on the road.
Yeah, same total here, 128.5. Campbell, the guy who's got to lean under. Same thing with Gardner Webb, especially on the road, Max. They have a tough time breaking 60 at times, so I lean under here.
It is definitely a dog day, and I am not taking Fairfield as a favorite at home.
Yeah, I'm not, and I don't want Quinnipiac either. Pass.
No Caleb Green definitely does not make it any easier. I think that this could be an over game. I think that the numbers definitely move the other way. However, we've seen Hartford's defense be very lackluster, and we've seen UMBC be able to hit threes, especially with Keandre Kennedy manning the arsenal.
Yeah, it's come down just a little bit, 144.5. I'd lean Baltimore County here. I just don't want to lay 7 with them.
Yeah, this is a pass for me.
Yeah, I don't. God, pass. I do not want to play Holy Cross.
This is an issue where I got to figure out what Nick Waterama's status is before I tell anybody what to do on this game.
Yeah, this has come down a little bit. It makes me lean to the over, but it's not a bet I'm playing.
Yeah, this is home dog barking central. I think that there are some emerging freshmen for North Florida that are making a difference consistently. And if they get Cedric Henderson back, there will be barking also tonight versus this very sound ball security minded Bellarmine team.
Yeah, Bellarmine's good, but you got to lay it here on the road. So it was a pass. I'd go under if I were to play this game.
Jacksonville State, if they can't get going early, then they're going to be in big trouble versus Stetson team. This defense is easy, like getting on a streetwalker and freaking then leaving her.
Jacksonville State's really good. This is one game I looked a lot at. I want Stetson here. If I had to take him, I just want to get more points, but I think this dog could bark here at home today.
Yeah, this is a big pass for me. Tough game.
Yep, too many. I'm not going to lay it with Florida Gulf Coast, and I don't want Northern Alabama. I barely bet them all year. Pass.
I want and hope Central Arkansas can get going in the first half, but not having Darius Hall or having Darius Hall is definitely a big factor in my mind. So until I know that, hard for me to stay committed to what I'm on.
Yeah, it's just when you start saying Kennesaw State and laying 11 and a half, I'm off.
Pass for me.
I think there's points. If I had to go anywhere, I go over.
I like points in this game. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Over. Points.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. Going to be a pass for me.
Can't take Pitt right now. This basketball team on the road, just no way. Just can't do it. Pass.
I like unders in this game, but I'm more enamored with taking Mississippi State as a short home dog.
Me too. I wish it was a few more, just in case. I wish I was getting 3.5, 4 max, just that extra possession. But that'd be my lean is Mississippi State here at home. And you're right. I'd only go under 136.
Yeah, this is a pass for me.
This is ugly. I don't even know what to take here. I want nothing part of Cal or Oregon State. Pass.
I got on San Diego State on the overnight, so I got a really good number compared to what's available now. I'm just going to ride that out.
Yep, it's a pass. It's just going to keep rising. Like I said, I would need over 20 here to even think about San Jose State today.
I think that with the injury issues for DePaul, it makes me very suspect of this line. If Javon Freeman Liberty's in, I think DePaul is back to normal and takes care of business.
Yes, if he's in too, Max, I know this line's come down, but if he's in, it might move a little back up. Over. This game goes over. 142.5.
Last one, boys. And it's a good one.
Alabama roll, Tide roll. They ain't going to roll tonight, I'll tell you that. Jarkel Joyner is back Ole Miss is ready to fuck with their eyes open. And this Alabama team, after I saw them score 55 points versus Kentucky, it's stained. It's freaking tattooed in my memory. I can't get over it.
Don't trust Alabama on the road. Don't trust the shooting. So Ole Miss, the dog here at home, and they can be ugly to watch at times and play well. It's been weird with them. All right, is that it? We got them?
Yes.
All right, we touched them all, got through it all. Shout out to the chat. If you haven't hit the like button. Boom, we're at 120. Appreciate it. Steph Brasco, Carlos Diaz, Jennifer, Mike Conley. Good to see Mike Conley in here. Point guard. Banana Grapes, Max on record, Kyle, Mike M, Sharpie, I mentioned her, Don Corleone, J Money, Jeff, everybody. Shout out. Canes Nation, Lance LaRose. All the guys in here. Matty Ice with the taint, which was Northern Iowa, -6.5 for his taint play of the day. All right, Max, give whatever bets you want to give. Give a last shout out to the chat. I'll give mine and we'll bounce, brother.
Yeah, listen, I'm walking on the wild side tonight. I'm getting pretty heavily invested with Houston, and I do have a play that I want to save for this part of the show. Houston, team total, first half, over 33.5, -109. Good juice, good number, under that 35-point threshold for me. And while I don't have 2.5 points on a value, I do think that if we're going to get the scoring, we're going to get a Houston physical offensive rebound dominated game, we're going to get 35 points. So I'm rolling with Houston, first half team total, over 33.5.
Excellent, excellent. First half, over 33.5 for Max. There. All right, let's get to mine here. Ohio State, Rutgers. I'm on Rutgers +3. I'm going to have some on the money line as well, but I'll take the 3. Tulane, Memphis. I need it over 10. I got 10. I got to take it. I don't trust Memphis. I'm going to dare him to do it tonight. And last, Georgia Tech, Miami, under 142. This total is way too high. I got to be on the under here. That is it. We are out of here. Great day, Wednesday. Nice, huge card, college basketball. We can't wait to be here tomorrow. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We appreciate you. He's a great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mack. We're out of here, baby. We be poppin'! Peace.